Hi, it's Nicole with the More Abundant Life site. And today is day 21 of the Ultimate Blog Challenge, 10 more days. But for today's post, I wanted to share another woman in the Bible story that is a favorite of mine, and it is the woman at the well. You know, if you're not familiar with it, you can find it in John chapter 4. And I'm just going to give you the nutshell of it. And then I'll tell you my aha moment and my takeaway moment from it. The woman at the well, in chapter 4, we find that Jesus is traveling with his disciples. And he tells them that, I have need to go through Samaria. And, Samaria was kind of out the way. It wasn't the shortest way to get to where he was going. But he said, I have need to go through Samaria. So when they go through Samaria, he ends up stopping by a well. And he stopped by this well at a certain time of day where, there was a time of day that, everyone came to draw their water. But during the time of day that he stopped by, there was no one left at the well. And a woman comes to draw water, and she purposely comes to draw water at a certain time of day when there are no other women around. And so Jesus starts talking with the woman at the well. And, in their conversation, they kind of have an interesting going back and forth, and I encourage you to go back and look at it. He asked the woman for some water, and she says, I can't believe you're asking me for water, basically, because you're Jewish and I'm not, and you normally don't have dealings with women of Samaria. And he said, well, if you knew who I was, you would be glad to give me some water. And she said, well, you don't even have anything to draw water with. And he said, well, I have water that make you never thirst again. And I always imagine they have a little attitude when they're saying all this back and forth a little bit. But he said, well, if you knew who I was, you'll give me, you want my water. And she said, well, give me some water that'll make me never thirst again. And since you say you got water that'll quench my thirst and I'll never thirst again. And he says, well, go get your husband. And she says, well, I don't have a husband. And he says, well, you tell the truth because you've had 5 husbands and the one you with ain't your husband either. And so she was shocked. She's, like, surely you must be a prophet. And so Jesus goes on and he reveals himself to her, and he tells her, he reveals other things to her. The biggest thing he revealed to her is that there's going to come a time where, we're all going to worship God in spirit and in truth because God is a spirit. And so she's intrigued by this conversation with Christ. And the disciples come and they're kind of shocked and amazed that he's talking with her. They don't say anything, but the Bible records that they were kind of like, oh, why is he talking with her? But she gets so excited by this conversation, by this promise of, there's going to be a time we can all worship the Father. We can all worship God in spirit, that she runs into town. And she tells everybody, you've got to come and see this man who told me all about myself. And surely he is the Christ. Surely he is the one that's been sent. And people came to see him. And my aha moment about that, my aha takeaway from that is, one, Jesus went out his way. He didn't have to go through Samaria. He didn't have to go through Samaria. And I believe it was very intentional because he is an intentional person. But God, Jesus didn't have to go through Samaria. But he went to Samaria because I believe that he had an appointment with this woman. He knew that she had a need, and he knew that he was going to use her to spread his gospel. The other thing that is exciting to me about that, my aha moment takeaway, is that, we think sometimes you have to be something other than what you are, that maybe we've made too many mistakes, or maybe we've made too many errors that we can't be used. And Jesus plainly said to her, yeah, I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you are. You're living with a man that's not your man now, that's not your husband, and you've had 5 other husbands, but I am going to ignite a fire in you, and you're going to go out, and you're going to tell people I'm here, and they're going to come and see me. This is the woman that purposely did not come to the well at a certain time of the day to not be around the other women. And so my aha moment is that, Jesus will go out his way to meet you and to take care of your need. And the other thing is that it does not matter how far gone you think you are, you can still be used by Christ. You can still be used to spread the gospel. And so I encourage you to go look at the story of the woman by the well. It is one of my favorites in the Bible. I would be excited to hear your aha moments or your takeaways from the story as well. And you Have a blessed day. Thank you.